For the detailed video, please
graph
visit
of the
the
cos
channel
x.
and
So
check
if
the
it,
videos.
this is the graph of
And
the cos
still
x.
you
If I
didn't
take minus
subscribe
pi
the
by 2
channel,
plus pi
means
by 2
please
means
subscribe
again
the channel
output
and
will become
share the
same.
videos
Y
to
will be
your
here.
friends.
In this
Thank
case,
you.
here the y values will say come same. So in this case, we have to take here restricted domain as a 0 to pi. 0 to pi. In the natural graph, what is the domain here? The domain is here R, and the range will come here minus 1 to 1 here. Minus 1 to 1. Minus 1 to 1. Okay, but the restricted domain, it will become here 0 to pi, and range is same only, minus 1 to 1 close bracket, because minus 1 and 1 is included. Cos inverse x means the range changes to domain, domain changes to range. The cos inverse x graph is here. Just x and y values are interchanged. It will come vertical. The graph looks like vertical shape. Okay. Next. Hope all of you understood sin x and cos x. Next is the cosecant x. Cosecant x means this is the reciprocal of sin x. So it will come 1 by sin x. It will come 1 by sin x. In the mathematics, we know the denominator should not be equals to 0. So should not be equals to 0 means the domains of the cosecant x, all the real numbers except where the sign is becoming the 0. We in the previous video we saw here, in the previous sin x we saw sin 0 is 0, sin pi is 0, sin 2 pi is 0, sin minus pi minus 2 pi. So n pi is always, sign of n pi is always 0. So the denominator should not be equals to 0. That's the reason the domain will become here x belongs to R, all the R, but x should not be equals to n pi. X should not be equals to n pi. And the range is here all the real numbers, but not included minus 1 and minus 1 to 1. Now see here, this is the cosecant x graph here. All the real numbers will come, but here minus 1 to 1. Exactly 1 will come, and minus 1 will also come. That's the reason they have taken open bracket minus 1 to 1. But these values here, it's a blank, because graph blue color, it still comes like this only. All the values like more than 1 will come, and less than minus 1 will also come. But in between 1 to minus 1 to 1, it won't come. Exactly 1 it will come, may come, and minus 1 also it may come. That's the reason we have to take here. Range is here R minus of minus 1 to 1. Now we have to select here. It's not possible. If you take whole domain as a real numbers, means it won't satisfy the 1 to 1 function. That's the reason we have to take restricted domain. Which one we need to take here? If I take this one, blue color, this graph, if I take like this from 0 to pi, then the values will comes here. The values will repeat. The output will for the different input will get the same outputs. That's the reason it's not possible. So you have to take here minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So what are the ranges will come here? Same as it is. Real numbers except in minus of minus 1 to 1. Okay. So restricted domain will become here minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 except 0, because in the 0 no values is there. Okay, it's clearly, it's the graph, it's not touching to the 0. That's the 0. It's a gap is there in between for 0. That's why you have to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 minus of 0. The range will come here R minus of open bracket minus 1 to 1. Then cosecant inverse will exist here, because it satisfies the 1 1 function. Then cosecant inverse x equals to, the domain changes to range, and range changes to domain. So the domain of the cosecant inverse x is here R minus of open bracket minus 1 to 1. And what is the range here? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 except 0. So minus of 0. Similarly, secant x also. Secant x means it is the